Good evening, everyone. So, we all were eagerly waiting for the outcome of the 56th GST Council meeting, and the outcome is now here by way of a press release which was done yesterday night. So, we are having the key proposals and recommendations of the 56th GST Council meeting, which is changing the GST a lot, especially the rates of the GST on different products and services. There are lots of changes. So I will not be going into the details ki भाई कौन सा rate क्या हो गया. Just will be discussing about the concept, what we are supposed to do now. So let us start with the rate. Apart from the rate, there are other changes also. We'll discuss one by one. First of all, the rate. In most of the cases, the rate has been reduced. Now it's like a dual rate structure. One is rate 5%, GST rate 5%, and other is 18%. There is a rate of 40% also, but that is for very few goods, which includes sin goods and the luxurious good. So mainly it's 5 and 18%, and 12% has been taken away. If you see, in most of the cases, rate has been reduced from 18 to 5, from 12 to 5, and also from 28 to 18%. So now a question arises, as the rates are reduced, what we are supposed to do now from tomorrow. So let me clear you. The cutoff date has been decided 22nd of September. It means the effective changes will be effective from 22nd of September. Okay, so up to 22nd September, you have to follow all the old rates. Now a second question comes. Say for example, if for any product the rate has been reduced from 18 to 5%, and now if I purchase the goods, I have to purchase by paying a tax of 18%. And if I sell the same goods after 22nd of September, I have to levy the GST rate of 5%. So in that case, there can be accumulation of credit. Moreover, there is a possibility that the traders are having huge stock in the hand. On that stock also, they have already paid the higher rate of 18%. But if they sell these goods after 22nd of September, they'll be selling at a lower rate. So what will happen for those accumulated credit? Let me clear you, you will not get any refund of these accumulated credit. So the businesses who are already paying the GST in cash after utilizing the credit, they won't face any problem. But the problem will be faced by the businessman who was already having accumulated credit because of inverted duty or for some any other reason. So now their credit will be accumulated further because stock they are having at the rate of 18%, but now they will be selling at the rate of 5%. So let me suggest you one thing. Up to 22nd of September, you can postpone your purchases, provided your business allows. Obviously, if you need any goods right now, then definitely you have to purchase it. But if there is any option, then you can postpone your purchases for after 22nd September, because if you purchase after 22nd September, you will also be paying the lower rate, and then the cascading effect, I mean the accumulation effect, will not be there. So this you have to decide as per your business, what is the situation of the business, and you can postpone. So this was the concept, that these are the rules that you have to keep in mind with respect to GST rate changes. So accordingly plan your purchases. There are the change in the rates in the services also, but for services it will not affect much. In simple, you have to just properly decide the invoicing and the period of service, so that accordingly you can take the benefit of the lower GST rate on services. Apart from the GST rate, there has been other changes also. One very important changes that I was always saying was with respect to GST registration. It was really very difficult to take the registration even for the genuine taxpayers. A taxpayer who is already registered in the West Bengal, and if he goes to take registration in the Maharashtra, that is cumbersome process. If he is already registered in West Bengal and paying reasonable taxes and have a track record of 5 years, then how can he be absconder or he can do some fake business? So this cumbersome process has to be reduced, and that has been taken care. Now we can take the registration within 3 days. What will happen? That will be a kind of provisional registration. The paperwork will be going on in the meantime, but you will get the registration. At least you can start your business, you can do the sale, because without registration you can't supply the goods. So after taking registration, that you'll get within 3 days, you can do your sale. And once the registration is regularized, then you can file the returns. But here one restriction has been given, that whenever you are doing the sale in case of provisional registration, then you can sell only up to a maximum of 2.5 lakh rupees to any registered buyer. That is not a problem. That will be taken care, because once you get the registration, you can start the business, and then you'll get sufficient time to proceed with the paperwork. So this is a very good move regarding the registration procedure. This is actually the ease of doing business. Similarly, it was very difficult for the small suppliers who were selling through e-commerce operator. In these cases, what was happening, that the suppliers were taking virtual offices in different states, and they were also facing lots of difficulty in getting the registration. So that process has also been relaxed. So it's a welcome thing for the e-commerce supplier, those who are supplying through e-commerce operators. So overall, we can say that registration process has been made comparatively very easy. So this was the change with respect to registration. Apart from that, one very important change is with respect to intermediary. As we all know, in case of intermediary, I mean to say commission, especially I am saying commission with respect to overseas, माने ट्रांजेक्शंस इंडिया के बाहर में हो रहा उसकी कमीशन को लेके. सो दोज कमीशंस वेर ऑलवेज लेविएबल टू टैक्स, and the taxpayer was not getting the benefit of export. Now that will be taken away and the relevant provision in IGST Act place of supply section 13, that will be changed and intermediary will be deleted. So in very simple language, I'll say, if you are getting commission from outside India, that will be mostly now treated as export of service. Definitely we have to check the condition, but previously भाई आप कुछ भी कमीशन अगर बाहर से रिसीव करे तो वो एक्सपोर्ट नहीं ट्रीट किया जा रहा था, एंड उस पे यू वर सपोज टू पे द जीएसटी, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली दैट GST was the cost because no one was getting the credit of that GST. So now whatever commission is being received from outside India, that will also be treated as export in most of the cases. Next change is with respect to post-sale discount. This was also a very big challenge because during scrutiny audit, the officers were asking the justification of post-sale discount. Now look, post-sale discount were passed on by way of credit note, and there were two types of credit note. One is the GST credit note and other was financial credit note. Now you understand from supplier's point of view, if supplier is issuing GST credit note, then the question was raised, where is the agreement? Because as per section 15, agreement should be there, and the agreement should be as per the terms of contract that you will be passing on this discount. So you can only issue GST credit note when it was agreed at the time of supply, and it has to be proved by way of an agreement, and that was actually very difficult in most of the cases. Second condition was that recipient should reverse the ITC. Now after the IMS facility, the reversal of ITC will be automatically done. That is not a big challenge, but the big challenge still remains is to produce the agreement. When there is a scrutiny or audit, to produce the agreement to the officer that, see, this is the agreement we entered at the time of supply of goods. So that's why I have issued the GST credit note. But practically speaking, where there are large number of buyers and sellers, it is very difficult to make the agreement, and many a times what happens, there is no written agreement, verbal agreement is there. As per the law, verbal agreement is also good agreement, but it becomes difficult to justify that this was agreed at the time of supply. So now this clause has been taken away. So it's a big relief in case of discounts. Now you don't need to have written agreement at the time of supply that you will be giving this discount. So this is a very good move. This will end lots of litigations which are arising due to post-sale discount. Okay, the reversal of credit will be there. And one important thing, circular number 212, which was saying that you have to take a compliance, you have to take one certificate that the recipient has reversed the ITC. This was also a very big challenge, but now after implementation of IMS, there is no need, because in IMS, automatically reversal of ITC will be done. So this is now taken away with this circular will be rescinded. This circular will be taken away. So there will be no need to take compliance certificate from the supplier or its chartered accountant for proving that the ITC has been reversed. So this is the good move. And now one more important thing regarding post-sale discount was कि manufacturer give discount to the dealer and then dealer give discount to the end customer. So in this case, in most of the cases, the discounts are in the form of financial credit note. So what happens that manufacturer will give financial credit note to the dealer and then dealer will pass on this credit note by discount by way of credit note to their end customer. So for these also circular will be issued and बहुत ज़्यादा justification की इसमें दरकार नहीं पड़ेगी at the time of audit. So this is also a very good move. But at times what happens, the manufacturer is giving a financial credit note so that dealer can do some marketing activity, promotional activity to promote the product of the manufacturer. So in this case also circular will be issued. Circular will contain the point that in which scenario it will be treated as service, because in this case financial credit note is being given for some promotional activity. So it means the dealer is giving some promotional activity. It's like a service, and the manufacturer is giving the financial credit note. It's like a consideration. So ideally GST should be charged on that. For this also proper circular will be issued which will clear the things that how to treat whether it's a promotional activity in the form of service and GST should be levied, or it's simply a pass on discount credit note. So all this will be taken care of properly by way of circular. So all these changes were proposed, and one more important change was regarding GSTAT, GST Tribunal, where it is said that from December it will start and the last date of filing for appeal will be 30th June 2026. Up to 30th June 2026, you will be getting the option to file your pending appeals, where first appeal order is not in your favor. You can file appeal to the tribunal up to 36 2026. So all these were recommendation given in the GST Council meeting. Apart from that, regarding refund, it was said that 90% of the refund should be given within 7 days, but ideally it was not happening. So now they have recommended in the GST Council meeting that they will notify certain industry or sectors where they can hold the refund of 90% also. It means they will not grant the 90% provisional refund. Apart from that, in all the cases, they have to grant 90% refund, whether it's a case of zero rated or it's the case of inverted duty, they have to grant the refund except in some exceptional circumstances. So this will ease the working capital requirement of the manufacturer because their liquidity is blocked in ITC. So that will be released. So all these are the welcome changes. Welcome changes by the 56th GST Council meeting. As said, it's a big reform, GST 2.2, and also Diwali Dhamaka, as said by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So we'll be coming up with the detailed critical points once all the notifications and circulars are issued by the GST Council. Thank you so much.